Hi, I want to go over the Act 13 updated teacher and principal evaluation process that is in place now for this school year. Um, Before we had the Act 82, this is the Act 82 versus the Act 83. So the Act 82 is the form that everyone got once they had their observation and building level information came in. So what is the same is you still have observation within the four domains. You still have student performance data. It's still based off of basically a 0, 1, 2, 3 scale, and there's still different levels of performance. The new areas are that your observation and practice framework is going to be weighted more. There's also more flexible student performance measures, and there is a new building level score calculator with a challenge multiplier. I'm going to go over all of that here in this presentation. So what is included in your final eval? 70% of your observation is going to be your observation piece. So that final eval is going to be your observation piece. So whether you have data or not have data, you'll have 70%. All of our teachers have building level data, so they're going to fall within this 10% range. So your building level data is going to be 10%, and then based off of what you teach will be 10%, whether you use the PVOS data or the new IEP goal progress data, and then the new LEA selected measure is going to make up that last 10%. So there are kind of three categories in the Act 13. So there's the classroom teacher, which is anybody who teaches directly, instructs students in a certain grade level or subject area. There's non-teaching professionals, which could be guidance counselors, nurse, instructional coaches, and of course, as principals, assistant principals, or director of special education, things of that nature fall into the principal category. You're still going to fall under that 1 through 3. You're either going to be in the failing area, the needs improvement, the proficient or distinguished area, just like we were in the past. So the first part that you all have will be the observation piece. That is the formal observation when your principal schedule with you. You talk about the four domains, looking at planning and preparation. That's 20% of your eval. Your classroom environment, which is 30% of your eval. Instruction 30%, and professional responsibilities 20%. That makes up your whole observation and practice. That doesn't change. The only addition is a higher percentage in your overall pie at the end of the day. And same thing goes for if you're non-data, same thing. It just falls down into 70% once again. If you are a temporary teacher, anybody who's been employed to perform a limited time with the duties, your observation and practice will count for 100% of your Act 13 evaluation. Principals will have 80% on their observation and practice. The other 20% is based on the building score. So these are kind of the differences in the building level data, the Act 82 versus Act 13. So Act 82 had 15% was building level, where you're now in Act 13 is 10%. And as you can see, it's really based off of only a few things. You have academic achievement, which is your state assessments, academic growth, your PVOS, your attendance, your graduation, and then that challenge multiplier. So instead of having all these categories in your building level for the elementary and the middle high school, you now are based off of these areas. So like we said, there's an academic achievement, an academic growth, an attendance, and a graduation rate. And once you have all those, including the building challenge multiplier, the challenge multiplier is based off of the percentage of students are economically disadvantaged. The next piece of it is the teacher-specific data. There's three ways we measure that data. You either are a teacher-tested area, so you have PVOS, which is your growth. If you're not a tested area, then the new area is your IEP goal progress. So if you teach more than 11 students with an IEP, or at least 11 students with an IEP, there is a new area that you have to fill out, which what information do you give towards the progress of a student's IEP. If you have less than 11 students with IEPs, then you have 10% of this area is added to the selected measure for non-tested areas, which I'm going to go over later. So tested area, if anybody who teaches a PSSA or Keystone area, you will go based off of PVOS, which is your growth model, showing that students make growth from your teaching area that comes out after state testing. All other teaching staff that does not teach a tested area must now fill out information on progress towards IEP goals. So regardless of certification area, all classroom teachers have to be accountable for student progress towards IEP goals. If students have identified IEP goals to which the teacher contributes data used by the IEP team to monitor. So if you have, 11 students in your classroom and you contribute to the same type of IEP goals, then that will take over for your teacher data that you have to give. So then the question becomes, what kinds of IEP data have you been asked to provide, and what types of student artifacts logs do you share with the special education teachers? So that really breaks down into academic goals and non-academic goals. So some possible academic goals is maybe you provide writing samples for a teacher, or maybe you're doing reading prompts with students, working on math goals with a group of students, or if you're a speech teacher, or you're maybe giving information to the speech teacher on goals. Those are all things in the academic area. Or you can give information in non-academic areas. So that could be, behavioral goals, time management, regulating emotions, on task, shifting your thinking, career ready skills, chunking larger projects, planning task analysis, all those non-academic goals that you help with the progress reports for students with an IEP. So once they do that, the last piece of the puzzle really is the LEA selected measure. So we select a measure that is assigned, once again, a 0 to 3 rating. And we have decided that in lieu of an SLO template, our district has decided to use college and career readiness as our selected measure, pre-K to 12, because that's our focus as a district, is to have students at all levels do some kind of college and career readiness to prepare them for their futures. So all teachers will facilitate at least one career readiness activity for all students in one assigned courses. That's pre-K to 12. The activities must be related to the course the teacher has selected. For example, in a high school math teacher, they could look at engineering or something related to the math field. Each teacher will create their own performance rubric for the LEA selected measure. So that's basically how you're going to grade this activity, and then you will evaluate that activity. Teachers will then keep student artifacts as evidence. So on file, you will keep evidence as for student artifacts. At the high school level, this could be used for their college and career portfolios. So all professional teachers will align their activities to the standards for career education and work in at least one component of the 4 areas. So the 4 areas are career awareness and preparation, career acquisition, career retention and advancement, and entrepreneurship. Those are grades 3, 5, 8, and 11. So you can find those areas that work. If you're pre-K to second grade and you can find one of those that you can bring down to your level, you can, or you can create your own grade level appropriate artifact for this area. And this is a link when I send this to you of the career readiness standards. So what does this mean for everybody? Just a quick review. If you have data available, so you teach a tested subject area, 70% of your pie is going to be your observation, 10% is going to be your building level score, 10% is going to be that teacher data, which is PVOS, and 10% is going to be that college and career readiness artifact. If you do not teach a tested area, yours will be the same, except for your 10% of teacher data will be based off IEP goal progress, which you will fill out, which I will show you at the end of this presentation. And then if you do not have enough students with IEPs, or you're not able to contribute to their goals, then you can do 20% will be based off of your career readiness artifacts that you build within your class. For principals, all of us have building level data, so it will be 70% will be based off your 80% will be based off your observation, and 20% will be based on performance goals that you will develop with the superintendent. When you're ready to complete your teacher data and career readiness, please visit this link. So we're going to go over here what this form looks like that you'll fill out. So once you're ready to kind of get this piece done, you've done your observation, you're ready to get this piece of the puzzle done, you're going to come to this Google form. You're going to fill out your first, last name, what building level, if you're a classroom teacher or non-teacher professional, which one describes you. So you'll click which one describes you, and that will take you to an area based off your goals. So if you teach a PVOS area, then it's going to skip you over this progress of IEP goals. If you do not teach a tested area, but you contribute to IEP goals, then you're going to fill out this information, And then finally, if you do not teach a tested area and you do not have at least 11 students in the same grade for the entire academic school year, it's going to skip you past this as well. But it's going to ask you some questions about what goal you contributed to, what performance evidence or artifacts you used, the growth that students have in your classroom based on those IEP goals. And then goes down the LEA selected measure. So you're going to tell us a little bit about your career readiness activity, describe how you plan to correct artifacts or have collected artifacts. You're going to identify the 2 standards that it aligned with, and you're just going to reflect on the success, barriers, or any support that could have been useful, and next steps. Once you submit this, we'll have it. It'll be part of your final evaluation. If you have any questions, I'm going to send you all of this information, but this is all things that have to be submitted before the end of the school year, so that next year, when it's time for your final evaluation form, which will be the Act 13 form, you're able to contribute to all of this and receive a score. If you have any questions, as always, you can reach out to me or any of your building principals. Thank you.